Gear 4th is finally here. What is going on, my Mugiwaras? Now, I'm not going to lie. The first half of this episode with those fodder townspeople running from the birdcage, I did not give a damn about that. I was like, man, hurry up with this crap. I want to see Luffy go Gear fucking 4th. I think the only thing worth mentioning before Gear 4th happened was the fact that Zoro is going to try to stop the birdcage. The rest, it could have been sped up a little bit because it took up a good chunk of the episode. But man, Gear 4th, he whooped Doffy's ass. Doffy's like, what is going on? This guy looks like an idiot. He can't even stay still, but I'm getting my ass whooped. And man, I love the bounceman's design. I love the animation on it. I like the little glimmer of red on his arms and legs, and also how his armament haki is rubber-like but still armor. Gear 4th is a fucking beast. That Kong gun, that fucking, what was it called, Python or something like that. And is it me? I know I've read this in the manga, but I really couldn't tell before because it just looked like Luffy's arm was going all over the place. But is he punching the air? Is his fist literally bouncing off of the air? That is badass. And he's flying. Luffy is fucking flying from kicking the air, supposedly, kind of how Sanji does, and I think it's called the airwalk in the One Piece world. But I love how whenever Luffy is about to do something epic, his limbs kind of go inside himself, kind of like a spring, and that cranking noise, that's how you know it's about to be a beastly hit. And I was actually surprised how long his arms stretch just to punch Doffy in the face. That's fucking hilarious. His fist chasing after him. I know I've seen it in the manga, but it looks better in the anime, in my opinion. Like, you can really get a feel for how hard Luffy punched him with that Kong gun, and how long his arm got before he actually landed a punch on Doffy in that scene right when he got punched, showing all the zigzags and paths Doffy took Luffy's arm. Man, those beasts in the forest must have got their asses whooped by this guy. And Bartolomeo, how he fangirled when he first found out about Luffy's new technique. That's how I fangirled while watching this episode. It was such a badass episode. And I love how it's just strictly showing off and showcasing Luffy's new technique. Doffy cannot land a hit, and when he does, it doesn't even faze Luffy. Like when he kicked Luffy in the abs, he was like, you know what? That's not gonna work, bitch, and boom. Luffy is so badass in this form. But in the preview to the next episode, we see, I think it's called Doflamingo's Awakening or something like that. But when Doflamingo stepped on some rocks, it all turned white and made of string. So, man, I'm so hyped to see next episode. I'm not going to spoil this in case there's some anime-only watchers out there, but this episode was very impressive. There's really not that much to talk about because it was just Luffy whooping Doffy's ass the entire episode, and a few other things from some side characters, with Cabbage telling Law that even if we beat Doffy's ass right now, it's not going to be over. I assume he's talking about the distribution of those devil fruits and everything that's been going on in the background. So if they come out on top, that's just going to actually cause more trouble for them. Some more big dicks are going to come after them. But in Gear 4th, I think Luffy can take out a few big dicks right now. But Luffy's design looks better than what I thought it would in the anime. Like I said, I love the red tint on his arms and legs. I like the little tribal tattoo thing he has going on his chest. It really complements the X on his stomach, and his eyes are red. I was not expecting that. I thought they were just black still, but that's an awesome touch. I love the markings around his eyes. He just looks like he can whoop some ass, and we know how tall and big Doflamingo was compared to Luffy before this transformation, but Gear 4th makes Doflamingo look minuscule. So Luffy is like the Hulk right now. He is literally the size of the Hulk. I didn't really think about how big he was. I didn't think he was bigger than Doflamingo in the manga, but now when I see like a side-by-side comparison and they're actually moving around and whatnot, Luffy's pretty damn big. I'm telling you, man, if Luffy ever unleashes like a Gatling in this form, I'm pretty sure Doflamingo would disintegrate, because that one Kong gun alone sent him flying. And if he hits him with punches like that repeatedly, like a Kong Gatling, that man, Doflamingo might as well just lay down, close his eyes, and accept his fate. I hope Luffy punches those glasses right off his fucking face. I'm sorry for this biased review, but I'm just so hyped. This is the same form we're going to be able to control in the upcoming One Piece game. I cannot wait to python some bitches in more ways than one. But of course, Luffy is whooping Doffy's ass right now because this is like a new form. It's like a new thing. He wants to show off how badass his form really is. But next episode, undoubtedly, Doflamingo is going to come back with some new crazy shit. So do you think Luffy is going to come out on top in this fight? Tell me down below. Another thing I adore about Gear 4th is, even though it's this monstrous behemoth of a transformation, like Luffy's strength and speed has obviously been quadrupled, or maybe even more. He moves around and looks kind of clumsy. I mean, just how when those townspeople were watching him kind of bumble along down the road, it was hilarious. Leave it to Luffy to turn a big balloon man into something dangerous. That's what I love about One Piece. It's not about how the power-ups look, it's about just what they do and what you can do with what you're given. What I mean by that is the devil fruit, the GOMU no Mi, it seems like a weak power. I mean, come on, who would want their body being made of rubber? But Luffy took that supposedly weak power and look where he is now. Just think about the first time he ate it when he was all limp. He couldn't even throw a punch, and just look at him now. He is taking down Doflamingo, one of the most badass villains that we've seen so far in One Piece. But undoubtedly, this form takes a huge toll on Luffy's body because after every punch and after every epic thing he does, he's panting more and more, and you see more steam coming out of him. So I'm guessing this is how Gear 2nd was when he first learned how to use it. It takes up a lot of energy and is kind of tolling on his body. But just like Gear 2nd, I see him getting used to this form later on down the line and being able to stay in it longer and longer without the side effects, because he can go into Gear 2nd right now without any repercussions, or so it seems. I am looking forward to the evolution of Gear 4th, but as of right now, Luffy is going the fuck in the anime. It's beautifully animated, although I do wish the sound effects were more varied, because when he was transforming, the same sounds were coming out when his fingers were bulging. I thought we were going to get like a crackling, and I mean, I guess I shouldn't expect crackling since he's made of rubber, but you guys know what I mean. But other than that, it was epic, man. I love the transformation, I love the design, I love the clumsiness and the power of it. But tell me down below, what do you think is going to happen next with Doflamingo's awakening? This has been jbDAuchiha. Gear 4th is finally here. Anyway, I'm out.